Welcome back from your weekend, and thanks for watching News 20. I'm Shay Simon.
And I'm Aaliyah Wilkerson. We want to alert you all on a number of Amber Alerts that was issued just before the show. Police are on the lookout for a 10-month-old black male in a gray shirt and pants. The infant is possibly with a Bella, a white female. They were headed north from Dade County, and this is according to the emergency Amber Alert system. News: an individual is in custody after authorities say the person started a fire in the ladies' wing of the Kearney Center, a nonprofit that provides services to those experiencing homelessness. Officials say the woman started the fire in the ladies' residence Sunday night. According to a representative for the parent organization of the Kearney Center, the center cleared immediately. The Tallahassee Fire Department quickly stifled the fire. Officers with the Tallahassee Police Department reviewed video footage from the center's cameras and arrested a suspect. Occupants are being housed in a different area until the center can completely be cleaned.
The Tallahassee Community Redevelopment Agency hosted its first Call to Art workshop this past weekend. The workshop took place at B.L. Perry Library on South Adams Street. The event comes after the agency was granted $3 million in tourist redevelopment tax dollars to enhance the arts. This is the first of two workshops that will allow potential project developers to learn how to apply for grants and develop programming centered around the arts. Despite earlier controversy involving an FBI investigation into the agency, the CRA managed to get the workshops off the ground. The second workshop will take place Thursday, May 3rd at 6 p.m. at the Leroy Collins Library on Park Avenue. Gun control has been a hot topic here in the U.S. in the last few months. With more on the debate, we turn to Ashley Fletta in Convergence with the latest on the gun rally out of Texas. Ashley, what can you tell us?
Well, Shay, we know that pro-gun demonstrators gathered in San Antonio, Texas for a rally on Saturday. Hundreds of gun rights activists marched through the streets of Texas protesting the city's ordinance. Now, the ban comes from open carry of firearms, according to local news outlets. This was a direct violation of Texas state laws. The protesters had their voices heard, and several city council members voted to repeal the ordinances. That's all I have for you now. Live in the Multimedia Newsroom, I'm Ashley Flette. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Ashley. While this is an issue that spreads far and wide, the impacts of it can be felt even here in Tallahassee. Digital journalist Aaliyah Williams is live in the studio to tell us more about TPD's recent request to seize a man's rifles. Aaliyah.
Yes, Shay, a judge granted the Tallahassee Police Department's request to confiscate the firearms of a man with a background of psychological mental health issues. TPD's attorney, Teresa Fleury, filed the petition against 21-year-old Christopher Mark Newhouse Jr. Leon County Circuit Judge J. Lee Marsh granted the petition Friday afternoon according to the court docket. A law passed last month that allows police to seize firearms from individuals who are admitted to mental health facilities against their will. Live from the studio, I'm Aaliyah Williams. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Aaliyah. The debate ranged from coast to coast this weekend. It continued with a talk on the future of guns hosted by Democratic Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz on the East Coast and a town hall on the gun violence on the West Coast. TV 20 will keep you updated as the issue develops.
And in other Scott news, Florida Governor Rick Scott has announced that he is running for Senate. The Republican governor made the formal announcement today on his social media accounts. He also held a press conference. Governor Scott is challenging Senator Bill Nelson in a race that could be one of the country's most costly races. Scott has served as Florida's governor since 2011. And the Leon County Library hosted its biannual book sale this past weekend. The book sale, which coincides with Springtime Tallahassee, each year is hosted by the Friends of the Library organization. There was a garage filled with books and sold to over 50 patrons. Each dollar raised by the group goes towards library materials.
Wonderful patrons of Leon County, they donate their books, and what we do is we comprise them once in the spring and once in the fall, where we will actually go ahead and sell them to folks that need books.
Last year, the library purchased 10 new telescopes. By this year, they hope to put their earnings towards some new mobile hotspot devices. Police are investigating a shooting in the Liberty City neighborhood of Miami where 2 people died and 2 people were injured. Miami police say 911 calls started coming in around 2 o'clock Sunday, reporting that more than 25 shots had been fired on Northwest 63rd Street and 13th Avenue. At this time, none of the suspects have been recognized. And 8 people are hurt after a rollover crash in Jacksonville, Florida, Friday afternoon. Troopers say a family SUV was pushed off the road after being rear-ended by a pickup truck. The victims include 2 adults and 6 children between the ages of 8 and 14 years old. 3 of those victims, who are all from Georgia, are seriously injured. The pickup driver was not hurt and was cited for reckless driving and not having a valid license. Officials say 5 of the 6 injured children were not wearing a seatbelt.
In more Atlanta news, family and friends attended a funeral Saturday for a toddler killed in the Easter drive-by shooting. Taraji Diggs was fatally shot while sitting in the backseat of his mother's SUV in DeKalb County when someone pulled up next to the vehicle and opened fire. Taraji turned 3 just 2 days before the shooting. Diggs' mother said she saw someone lean out of the suspect's car with a paintball gun before real shots were fired. The family is asking for anyone with information about the shooting to come forward.
Facebook's CEO is heading to Capitol Hill this week. Lawmakers are asking for answers from Mark Zuckerberg after a data firm with ties to the Trump campaign mishandled data from millions of Facebook users. This afternoon, Zuckerberg issued a statement apologizing for the social media company's delay in responding to Russian meddling. TV20 will keep you updated on all of the details out of Zuckerberg's testimony as it progresses. And in other news, John Bolton starts his new job as National Security Advisor today, and he's got his work cut out for him. He steps into his new role days after a reported chemical weapons attack in Syria. Top officials are gathering under Bolton's direction to weigh a possible U.S. response to the attack. The chemical attack also came less than 2 weeks after President Trump said he wanted U.S. troops to pull out of Syria soon.
As images spread of Syrian children gasping and convulsing, aid groups and international leaders are denouncing the regime for their alleged role in suspected chemical attack that killed more than 70 people in Douma. The Syrian government and its key ally, Russia, denied involvement. Russia's foreign ministry is calling the allegations of chemical strike in Syria a hoax, blaming NGOs of being terrorist. Hungary votes today for a new leader. Polls have closed and vote counting is underway. It's a contest that's expected to secure Prime Minister Viktor Orban a 4th term in office. He has campaigned heavily against immigrants and the European Union. A South Korean court has found former President Park Geun-hye guilty of corruption and sentenced her to 24 years in prison. Park, who was removed from office last year, was convicted for abuse of power, bribery, and coercion. She's expected to appeal. Heightened tensions between Venezuela and Panama have left their passengers stranded at the airport in Caracas. Venezuela announced Thursday the country was suspending all commercial and financial ties in Panama. Tension between the 2 countries rose when Panama labeled President Nicolas Maduro and other top Venezuelan citizens as high risk for using Panama's system for money laundering. Both countries withdrew their respective ambassadors as a result. Delta, Avianca, United, Lufthansa, Air Canada, LATAM, and Aeromexico have all suspended operations in the country. That's all for your international headlines. Now to Michaela for some entertainment.
Thanks, Angelicia. I'm Michaela with your e-news. Now, let's start with the headlines. Rapper Cardi B revealed an apparent baby bump while performing on Saturday Night Live. Her fiance, rapper Offset, tweeted that they're looking forward to their next chapter together. Cardi B also shared a tweet appearing to mention the pregnancy, saying in part that she had a little baby counting on me. The entertainment world has lost a longtime comedic actor. Chuck McCann died Sunday in Los Angeles of congestive heart failure. The Queens native got his start in television in the 1960s. He was on a number of children's shows on WPIX in New York, like Let's Have Fun and The Chuck McCann Show. McCann made appearances on various shows, including Bob Newhart's show, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and Knox Landing. He also created Sonny the Cuckoo Bird from General Mills, who was forever cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. McCann
McCann was 83 years old. Conor McGregor has finally released a statement about his arrest and a release over the weekend. McGregor was stripped of his UCF title, which resulted in him attacking a bus filled with UCF fighters. The fighter was mum on the situation but took to social media this morning, Instagramming a photo of himself in New York with only praying hands emoji for a comment. That will do it for your E-News. We'll be right back after this break.
Tuesday, unfortunately, we'll be experiencing some thunderstorms, high of 66, low of 49. Wednesday, sunny skies, high of 76 and a low of 49. Thursday, sunny skies, high of 77, low of 56. Friday, partly cloudy skies, high of 79, low of 61. Ooh, Saturday, partly cloudy skies, high of 81 and low of 66. And that's it for our 5-day forecast. That's also it for your weather report. Thanks for watching. We'll be right back after this break.
Welcome back, I'm Brandon Jones, and when you see me, you know what time it is. Let's get into the sports. The FAMU softball team picked up a win this weekend on national television. ESPNU was there Friday to broadcast their game against North Carolina A&T Aggies. The Rattlers showed out for the cameras with a 9-2 win against A&T. It was a doubleheader, and the Rattlers lost the second game of the day, but closed the series out strong on Sunday with a 4-2 win. The FAMU baseball team didn't have as much success with North Carolina A&T this weekend. They took on the Aggies in a 2-game away series in Greensboro. The Rattlers also had a doubleheader but dropped both games. The first matchup was close loss of 3-2, but FAMU was blown away in the second game with a final score of 13-4. The Rattlers are back in action tonight to take on Jacksonville University at Moore Kittles Field. The Seminole baseball team went through some weekend woes as well. After starting their series against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets with a 10-2 win, FSU went on to lose the next two games against the ACC opponent. Saturday's game was a tight one with the Yellow Jackets squeezing out a 2-1 victory. GT went to work on Sunday, outscoring the Noles by 13 runs and had a final score of 16-3. FSU returns home tomorrow to face the Florida Gators. And while baseball season is starting up, basketball season is beginning to wind down. The Oklahoma City Thunder took on the Houston Rockets this weekend in a game that turned out to be a huge win for the Thunder. OKC is fighting for a playoff spot and are now one win closer to clinching their way into the postseason. The Thunder had a big performance from their big three to edge out a 108-102 win over the Rockets. Carmelo Anthony shot 50% from the field, putting up 22 points. Paul George contributed 24 points, and Russell Westbrook was all over the place, finishing with 24 points and 10 assists. OKC is in Miami tonight to take on the Heat. If they win, they'll clinch a playoff berth into the competitive Western Conference. That's all I have for the sports right now. We'll be right back after the break.
A little rain did not stop those from gathering to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Springtime Tallahassee Parade. The Springtime Tallahassee Parade has never been canceled, even with the looming weather and predictions. Event organizers were forced to cancel the Jubilee that usually takes place during the parade due to forecast predictions of damaging winds and possible tornadoes. Although the Jubilee portion was missed, parade attendees and participants were still able to enjoy themselves.
Were any of you guys able to catch that?
No, I actually didn't get to go.
Oh, man.
The little weather did stop me from going out there.
It
but
did?
It's all good.
Yeah, well, unfortunately.
Maybe next year, guys.
Right, well, that's going to do it for us tonight. For Kayla and Brandon, I'm Aaliyah Wilkerson.
And I'm Shay Simon. Thanks for watching, and remember to also follow us at FAMUTVnews.com for more news updates. Have a great evening.